the other little snippet on the weekend, JB, we've got time to discuss this.
Oh, go,
it's just the incident over in Perth with the player Guelphy going off in a taxi to get
Hospital.
some scans on his ribs. Look, there's been a bit of talk about it. Of course, it doesn't need to be an ambulance, but it needs to be organised and it needs to be pre-arranged before it happens. So, in other words, yes, and people think, you're taking an ambulance away from an emergency somewhere else out in the streets. Hey, listen, there's private ambulance groups that could be on standby there that the AFO.
But it was no emergency, Brian. It was
It
was nothing.
Hang on, Bill. That could pay to do it. But at the very least, Bill, have someone that's at the ground, maybe filling 5 other jobs on the night, that is the designated go-to person. If something like this happens, he has a vehicle close by to the rooms. They can jump in the vehicle, whisk them off to hospital and bring them back. That's fine, but they didn't even have that person ready to go.
Has someone had a go at you for your comments on this?
No, because I never got a chance to explain the whole thing. I was there and had to go the minute. I initially thought an ambulance. Okay, then they've come out after the game and explained it wasn't an emergency.
No.
Fair enough. Didn't need an ambulance. But guess what? It looked
Shocking.
really shocking as, waiting for calling a taxi, turning out.
But how many times has that happened? We don't know. It's only because your cameras are there we saw
Bill.
it, but it's probably happened a lot of times.
Bill, get someone at the ground like the football
Don't
manager
be
of the
outraged
football
about
clubber
outrageous things.
to have a car.
You don't have to get outraged. You don't have to get outraged, Brian.
It's a multi-billion dollar business. It is a bad look for the game. It's
not a bad look for the game.
It is a bad look for a game.
It's not a bad look.
And
Should Mitch McGovern appeal his
yes,
1 week ban as it stands?
Because it was in the play. It was actually in play.
Yeah.
And of course they should have.
I've got a bigger issue, BT, with
Jeremy McGovern.
Maybe Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah.
I've got a bigger issue with
I reckon
the
Chambers
chair.
was lucky to get off.
Bigger issue with the chair being on the ground, isn't it? That was what caused
Well,
part of
chairs
the
have
damage
been on
to
the
Grant.
ground for a while these days, Damo, because people want to sit in them.
They shouldn't be there, though, should they, BT?
And you know
And
what?
if the damage is caused
You know what?
by the chairs there.
Was the little plastic, those bendy chairs that wobble and shake the moment you
There's
sit on.
another. We get outraged about this too now, do we? Do we all just blow things up?
I'd appeal.
Well, there's more reason to get outraged about that than the ambulance.
The Brayshaw thing during the week when they haven't shot a goal. That's not a hanky
Why can't
fence
the
either.
security guys stand
No one did.
and
No
look
one
at
did.
the crowd
Hey?
instead of sitting and looking at the footy?
Well, I don't know.
I'm with you, Duck. I would appeal if I'm the West
Yep.
Coast
Yes.
Eagles. I think that's a fine at best.
Yep.
And I do think, Bristol, that all Essendon needed to do was walk the 50 metres down the back corridor and go into the West Coast and say we need to get a player to get some scans, and they would have provided a car and a driver to get in there. That would have been a better option.
That's all.
Guelphy got to the hospital, didn't he?
Yes.
Right.
No,
I'm glad he did.
Bill,
He
don't-
got to the hospital
What
and he
about
got
this?
his scan.
Don't
Bill-
still be sitting in the bar of the box.
Bill-
All he's saying is it's not a good look to
I
jump
was-
into a cab, and I agree with
I
you.
caught-
I looked
Bill.
at it and said, I don't give a stuff about
Bill.
it. Good on him. He's getting to hospital.
I caught a taxi from the airport to my place this morning.
Did you
Do
pay?
you know that guy? He went out of his lane on the freeway at least 20 times.
Oh, that wouldn't have appealed to you,
So what are you
Bristol.
saying?
I thought he was drunk, right? And he
That wouldn't
wasn't.
have appealed
He was
to you,
just
Brian.
a shocking driver.
Yeah.
He ran over 3 curbs. Now, if I had broken ribs and he was my cab driver and I was off to
It's a
hospital,
long bow.
I would be very, very shitey.
Why is that? What has that got anything to do
Because
with Guelphy
cab
going to
drivers-
hospital?
I'm not.
I think you've got a bit of a beef about cabbies.
Yeah.
99% of cab drivers are good, but there's 1%
You got a
that are just
bad one.
learning.
Now we're getting there.
BT and I got in a cab recently, and, just to bring up how he feels about cabbies. And it was only a short trip, and the cabbie said, "Well, it's going to cost you 20," and he's gone, "Well, that's not a $20 trip. That's a $10 trip. You're not getting any more. You put your meter on," he said.
You are lying.
You put your meter-
He said that'll be $8.50, and I said, no, mate, take the 20.
No, I'm talking about the last time.
Duck must have been paying.
I'm talking about the time before that. Yes. He doesn't like
Mate,
cabbies.
Don't turn this into something about cabbies.
Yeah,
It's not.
He doesn't like cabbies.
Yeah,
He took the last cab to Darwin.
Oh, Duck.
Oh, Duck.
Duck's onto it.
Oh, he's come good.
I love it. There we are. Beautiful.
Who are you?
Yeah. Well, we need to get to a break.
It's not a big deal, and don't jump on Bill. It's just a little thing. It's a professional industry.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
with you,
We've
Brian.
just talked about it for 15 minutes.
That's not a big deal,
No,
Brian.
no, have someone there. to
Little
do it, Bill.
bit tacky.
I'm into you,
Tacky.
Brian. I'm with you, Brian.
I am too,
It's
Brian.
not a good look to get
Looks
into a camp.
skunky.
We can do it better than that as an
Wow,
industry
we-
that's worth billions, Bill.
Yes.
Rather than just calling a local cab and jumping in on it.
Oh,
What-
the local cats, good for the local cats.
What about the recent time when I just came? I was doing a game for the Seven Network where they provide you with a car for the next day to
Naturally-
get to the airport. So
natural
I walk out.
That'd be a limo.
Damo.
Yes.
I walk out and the limo driver came up to me and he said, "Do you like to sit in the front or the back, Mr. Brayshaw?" And I said, "No, I normally sit in the back."
Yeah.
He said, "Good thing because the front seat's taken."
Who by?
A man who the car wasn't even for.
And that was, and that.
My car, and I can't
My
sit.
car.
Listen, JP,
Sitting in the
Has
front is
parked
King,
himself in the front.
King
Bill.
Brian.
I get car sick and I vomit. I'm a real motion sicker. If I'm in the back seat and I can't see where I'm going, I'm going to
He does love
chunder
it.
Oh,
everyone.
Brian,
What is
next,
going
I
on?
want the power rankings that matter in football out of you. All right, we got 18 teams.
Fronts.
If you want to know where your team's at from a man that doesn't give a stuff, he'll just tell you as it is.
And these are my opinions, not
Oh,
yours.
no, Brian, I'm happy to hear them. They're coming next. The proper AFL team power rankings out of our man, the Bristler.